12 years after the final Yenko Super Camaro left Don Yenko's famous Pennsylvania dealership, another high-performance Camaro bearing the legendary Yenko name emerged, the 1981 Turbo Z. Now, while it lacked the aggressive muscle car persona of its predecessors, the Turbo Z symbolized Yenko's continued dedication to enhancing Chevrolet's performance cars. Now, this car unfortunately wasn't super successful, but I feel like its story deserves to be told. But before we get into its story, let me first get everybody up to speed on Don Yenko. So Don Yenko was more than just a car dealer. Born into a family deeply rooted in the automotive world, Yenko's passion for high-performance cars and motorsports earned him a lasting legacy. After taking the reins of his family's dealership in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, Yenko quickly turned it into a hotbed for Chevrolet performance enthusiasts across the US. His early work on the Corvair Stinger, a homologation special based on the Chevy Corvair Monza, established him as a true tuning wizard. However, it was his work on the Yenko Super Camaro that cemented his name in American muscle car history. Yenko's modifications to the Camaro involved transplanting the 427 cubic inch L72 big block V8 engine into Chevrolet's pony car, creating a beast that would become legendary. From 1967 to 1969, Yenko Camaros gained a cult following, particularly in 1969, when Don exploited Chevrolet's Copo system to have the L72 engines installed directly at the factory. But by 1970, tightening emission regulations and increasing insurance premiums marked the beginning of the end of the muscle car era. The Yenko Super Camaro faded away, and for more than a decade, no new Yenko Camaros were produced. By the time the 1980s rolled around, the American auto industry was grappling with fuel crises, stricter emission regulations, and increasing insurance costs, all of which had stifled the muscle car segment. The Camaro had survived, albeit with drastically reduced performance. The Z28 was the lone high-performance model in Chevrolet's lineup, but even its 5.7-liter V8 was a shadow of its former self, producing a modest 175 horsepower in 1981. However, this was also the era when turbocharging began to gain prominence as a solution to the performance emissions dilemma. Across the Atlantic, European manufacturers were experimenting with turbos to extract more power from smaller, emission-compliant engines. Even within General Motors, Pontiac had begun using turbochargers on its Firebird Turbo Trans Am. Seeing the potential, Don Yenko and his general manager Kim Mason decided to re-enter the high-performance game, developing a turbocharged Camaro under the famous Yenko banner, birthing the Turbo Z. Now, the 1981 Yenko Turbo Z was based on the second-generation Camaro, specifically the final year Z28. Yenko offered the Turbo Z in two stages, Stage 1 and Stage 2, the latter being a more extreme fully equipped package designed to rival Europe's finest GT cars. Externally, the Turbo Z distinguished itself from the stock Z28 with custom side decals and an aggressive front air dam, which drew inspiration from the Camaro IROC race cars. The Stage 2 package added serious handling upgrades, including Koni adjustable shocks and Gold Strand polyurethane bushings, which significantly sharpened the car's cornering abilities. It also rode on lightweight 15-inch Wild 2-piece wheels wrapped in staggered Goodyear wingfoot tires. Inside, the Stage 2 was upgraded with camp leather bucket seats and a race-mark steering wheel, giving the interior a sportier, more upscale feel. At the heart of the Turbo Z was Chevrolet's familiar 350 cubic inch LM1 V8. However, with the stock engine's output rated at just 175 horsepower, Yenko knew that forced induction was the key to unlocking its potential. The Turbo Z featured a turbocharger system developed by Turbo International, which blew 7 psi of boost into the stock carbureted engine. While primitive by modern standards, the turbo system was equipped with several unique modifications designed by Yenko, including a water injection system to help control detonation and a fuel heating system to prevent stumbling under boost. Now, Yenko did not officially release horsepower figures for the Turbo Z's exact output, but it was estimated to produce around 250 horsepower, which was a significant boost over the stock Z28. This power bump translated to impressive performance for the era. When Hot Rod magazine tested the Turbo Z in 1981, it recorded a quarter-mile time of 14.51 seconds at 97.81 miles per hour, 2 full seconds faster than the stock Z28. This placed the Turbo Z's performance close to that of muscle cars from the late 1960s, making it one of the quickest American cars of its time. But despite its performance and the prestige of the Yenko name, the Turbo Z did not achieve the success Don Yenko had hoped for. Priced at $10,500 for the Stage 1 version and $17,300 for the fully loaded Stage 2 model, the Turbo Z was far from affordable, especially in the early 1980s. This, combined with skepticism over the turbocharged system's reliability and general lack of interest in the second-generation Camaro as it neared the end of its production run, meant that only 19 Turbo Zs were ever sold. Of these, just 3 were equipped with the Stage 2 package, making the 1981 Yenko Turbo Z one of the rarest Yenko Camaros ever produced. Now, while the 1981 Turbo Z will never reach the legendary status of the 1969 Super Camaro, it remains an important part of Yenko's legacy. It represents the tuner's willingness to adapt to changing times, embracing new technologies like turbocharging to extract performance in an era where emission standards and fuel economy were paramount. Though it may not be as revered as the big block predecessors, the Turbo Z is a reminder that the spirit of American performance never truly died. It simply evolved. In recent years, interest in the Turbo Z has grown among collectors, though its value still pales in comparison to other Yenko models. A pristine low-mileage Stage 2 Turbo Z sold for just $66,000 at a make-em auction in early 2024, which is a fraction of the cost of what a 69 Super Camaro would command on the same collector market today. However, for those who appreciate the Turbo Z's rarity and its place in the Yenko lineage, it's a really cheap way to gain a piece of American muscle car history. But at the end of the video, please let me know what you guys thought of the video. What do you guys think of this car? Like, do you think it should be worth more? I mean, it is super rare. I do know it is a Z28, but I still think it's very cool. It's really rare. And like a turbocharging system back in the 80s, that was rare in itself. So I think it's pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you guys did like it, you'll most probably like most of my other stuff. So just go through my channel, see if it's someone else like. I'll check you guys in the next one. Cheers, eh?